48-47, 48-47, and 49-46 for the winner by unanimous decision, and still the...
It was this day that became special for Islam Makhachev. Finally, the fight for the title between him and Charles Oliveira was officially announced. This fight will take place on October 22nd on the Fight Island in Abu Dhabi, everything as Islam wanted. Is it really an easy fight for Islam Makhachev? He will transfer and strangle Charles Oliveira. Anything can be expected in this fight. Hello everyone, Fighters Are With You MMA Predictions channel. In this video, I will tell you how Islam Makhachev can defeat Charles Oliveira and defend the belt. But before starting this video, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video so that every MMA fan can see this video. Rumors about this fight began long before the official announcement. Back in 2022, there was a rumor that a rematch between Islam Makhachev and Charles Oliveira was in the works, but it was never confirmed. As a result, Islam was given Alexander Volkanovski, and Charles in the meantime defeated Darius. Both fighters accepted their fights and confidently won them. Makhachev continued to win, and still the company could not help but notice this after the fight with Dan Hooker, but alas, this fight did not take place due to injury. Then Bobby Green came out to replace the Brazilian, where he lost already in the first round. After Makhachev, they finally gave a fight against the champion. He won this fight and took first place. Many fans wanted to see the fight between Islam and Oliveira for the second time, and it will take place very soon. And it happened. The fight for the vacant lightweight title between Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev is officially announced. And in this video, I will try to tell in detail why Islam Makhachev will destroy Charles Oliveira and become the new champion from Russia. Struggle. The first and most important aspect that will help Islam defeat Oliveira is his Dagestani struggle. He fought all his childhood, participated in various competitions, and such an experience will clearly give him a big plus in a fight against the Brazilian. As I know, Charles is a representative of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He is dangerous in the referee's position. At any second he can make a move and make you knock. Let's take a look at who he's beaten with holds lately. Justin Gaethje, who is easy to control. Dustin Poirier, who also has problems with wrestlers, but he hasn't been able to get Michael Chandler to surrender. You ask, why? It's simple. Michael is a freestyle wrestler by base. His style is attacking wrestling, and Charles has always had difficulties with such fighters. And Islam is somewhat similar to Michael, just as strong, owns a wave of wrestling, only they don't have a big difference. Makhachev is an improved version of all wrestlers. As long as he is in the lightweight division, no one will be able to give him a competitive fight, including Oliveira. I think it's going to be a scenario. Islam is going to fight in a standing position for the first few seconds, but then he's going to figure out that it's okay to do a takedown. Then he's going to pin Charles to the cage and throw him over his hip. This is the essence of Makhachev's game plan. He will not make a two-legged pass like a fool, where you can get caught. Islam will press Charles to the sect and calmly translate, especially since the Brazilian does not have muscle strength. He is an ordinary thin guy who will not be difficult to lower into the referee's position. Let's sum up not big results on this aspect. Islam is really a level above everyone in the lightweight division. Most fans believe that Oliveira will become the most difficult opponent of the Dagestani precisely because of the fight. Where did you get that from? Islam, in my opinion, fought with a more advanced wrestler called Arman Tsarukyan, but even that he was able to control and win the fight. Of course, Charles is good in terms of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but Makhachev will be ready for this. He will work out all the exits from submissions. A choke to surprise Oliveira. Makhachev could not. Cardio. Then we have the endurance of the fighter, but you may not understand me again. Now I will try to explain everything to you in detail. Makhachev finishes his last fights ahead of schedule, but before that, he easily passed all 5 rounds. In the fight against Volkanovski, he showed that he can breathe calmly in the 4th round. Islam has been working at his pace for a long time, and he is used to it. A couple of minutes of striking technique, and then wrestling and so on for the whole fight. And because of his consistency, I'm more confident in his stamina than Oliveira. Charles spent his last fights almost at full strength, and he managed to win in the first rounds. And what will happen if he does not manage to finish his opponent? How will he act then, since he spent all his strength in the first round? You can tell me that Islam also finishes everyone in the first round, but Makhachev, unlike Oliveira, does it without wasting his strength. He works at his usual pace, and the opponents themselves cannot stand him and give up. This was evident in the duel against Dan Hooker and Bobby Green. It was clear that Islam was not in a hurry, but was cold-bloodedly interrupting his opponents. And this distinguishes Makhachev from Oliveira. Islam does not invest to the fullest in his fights, and Charles from the very first rounds begins to look for a finish, which can play very badly in the fight with the Dagestanian. As I said, Islam is not a stupid guy. If necessary, he will give Oliveira a little work to show all his best punches, and after what I think is the first round, Islam will begin to methodically dismantle Charles Oliveira, and that's how he'll be able to defeat him. I understand that you may not agree with me. Everyone has their own opinion, so I am waiting for you in the comments. Neat style. Most likely, none of the MMA bloggers will even think about this point, but I came up with such an idea, and why not? Judging by the fights of Islam Makhachev, it is clearly seen that he conducts his fights carefully. One can even say too carefully. He has a record. He has the lowest percentage of missed punches in the history of the lightweight division. And for Charles Oliveira, it's going to be a real problem, because he's used to pressing, hitting his opponent, and here most of the punches, in my opinion, will be missing. Okay, just missing. But the punches that you miss, you worsen your stamina. So that's what will happen if Islam does not allow the Brazilian to work at full strength, neutralizes his strengths. What he will do then? Makhachev's neat style can also cause a lot of problems. If you are used to exchanging blows, then in the fight with Makhachev it will be difficult for you. If you are used to knocking out your opponents in the first round, then you will have to give up this in a duel with Islam Makhachev. In general, in short, Islam's opponents have to limit themselves in many ways in order to adapt to the fight and the style of the opponent. Everyone criticizes Islam for such a style of introduction, but they do not understand that with the help of this style, he can smash the entire division and become difficult opponents for everyone in the lightweight division. Since this style has almost no disadvantages, only solid pluses, the biggest minus in this style is the spectacle. Fans will clearly not like it, and the rest is just an advantage. Training with Khabib. Well, the last point for today's video is training with Khabib. As we know, Islam is his best friend, and where Makhachev will 100% be Khabib. He helps him in everything, in training, in life, in spiritual terms. Nurmagomedov clearly won't say anything bad, but the most important thing is that he helps him prepare, tells him different tricks and secrets in wrestling. And in the fight against Oliveira, Nurmagomedov's advice must be there. Who else, if not him, will come up with a game plan for the fight against Charles? Who will help him progress? Of course, the Eagle. And I am 100% sure that Islam will come out for the second fight against Charles Oliveira fully ready and confident. He will have only one mood: to defend the belt and return him back to Dagestan.